I'm Courtney Fingar, and I'm editor of FDI Magazine, a specialist publication from the Financial Times Limited that focuses on cross-border investment and corporate expansion. We are part of the FDI Intelligence Division within the FT that is focused solely on all matters to do with foreign direct investment. We're proud to be partnering today with Enterprise Estonia for this latest installment of our Thought Leadership Roundtable series. We're going to be discussing the particulars of investing in Estonia, but within the broader context of the changing needs of companies with regard to expansion across Europe. And we'll be looking at how companies in particular can leverage the advantages of an efficient, lean investment environment like Estonia. So we've assembled today a panel of Estonia experts. These include professionals who've advised companies and organizations in investing in Estonia, who represent themselves companies that have made investments in Estonia, or are working within Estonia to facilitate investments and corporate expansion within the country. So rather than have me say who's who, I'll allow the panelists to introduce themselves briefly, telling us a little bit about their current roles and their professional experience as it relates to Estonia. And after that, we will get into the heart of our discussion.
Morning, my name's John Beaver. I have the privilege of being the Honorary Consul in the UK to the Republic of Estonia, a commercial lawyer, God forbid, by profession, who've advised a number of companies over the last 18 years on relocating in Estonia, investing in Estonia, and I currently also act for a major property group with significant investments in Tallinn and other parts of the Baltic region.
I'm John Phillips, and I'm Managing Director of Continental Wood Products. We're a key exporter of sawn timber. We operate a sawmill in the town of Pärnu, and we take full shipments to the UK once monthly to our importer on the east coast of England at Creeksea.
My name is Marcus Exall. I'm a founding director of a digital marketing agency, Blue Barracuda, dealing with companies in the UK like Pizza Hut, BAA and GlaxoSmithKline. We've been dealing in Estonia for over 4 years now, and have significant plans to develop our business, supporting our media and technical operations in Tallinn.
Good morning, I'm Douglas Clark. I'm a director of Tenon Techlocate. We're part of the Tenon Group, who are a firm of accountants in the UK, and I'm a location consultant. I advise technology companies where to locate across Europe and across North America, and in the past we've been involved with Estonia quite a lot.
Hi, I'm James Oates. I'm an investment banker of 20 years specialism in Eastern Europe. I currently head up a little investment advisory and management company called Cicero Capital. My previous experience has been as head of Eastern European equities at UBS, at Lazard, and I started my career at JP Morgan.
My name is Gert Stahl. I'm the director of the Estonian Investment and Trade Agency. We're the first point of contact for anybody looking to do business in Estonia. We deal with FDI projects, anything from SMEs to large corporations, and we provide services to investors from investment preparation, project management, to aftercare and sourcing.
Okay, thank you all and welcome. To start the discussion, I'd like to pose the question to James about what you're seeing from your corporate clients in respect to evolving needs for expanding into new markets. How is the current economic climate affecting these needs and expansion strategies, and especially how Estonia might fit into the new investment paradigm?
The Estonian situation has been much faster at almost every level, both in the upswing when the economy was growing, but also in the downswing. And we've seen a very dramatic restructuring across the whole economy that has taken place over a matter of months. We've seen a very sharp fall off in domestic economic activity, but this has had two effects. First of all, clearly economic activity has been dramatically reduced, but it's also corrected a lot of the economic imbalances that had emerged over the previous 2 to 3 years. So we now no longer have situations where current account deficits are becoming out of control. In fact, the current account deficit has more or less gone.
What does this mean for a market like Estonia?
Well, I think what it shows is just how extraordinarily flexible the radical reforms that have been put into place since the recovery of independence have been. And what we've really seen has been an astonishing change. And also, where there have been lacks, like in particular marketing and sales and services skills, we're now beginning to see investment actually focusing on that, where previously it had not. The Estonians are notoriously autistic in their sales skills, and I see some smiles of recognition. And now we are beginning to see investment in that field as well. And I think that in some senses, notwithstanding the savagery really of the economic recession, we have seen some very necessary imbalances corrected. I think that the situation now looks as though we're kind of past the worst.
I'd like to pose a similar question to Douglas. You spend time talking to companies who are looking across Europe for investment opportunities. What changing needs are you seeing, or what's the impact of their investment strategies from the global recession?
Well, I'd say that, I mean, cash is king. If companies have got cash, they're really in a very good position. Basically, with high unemployment, they can now get access to talent, the best people, at a quite good cost, and similarly with property costs as well. So it's a buyer's market out there. We deal with a lot of American companies coming into Europe for the first time, and we're seeing a huge flow. The recession hasn't really affected figures. The trends are still going up. So Europe's still a great place to invest in, and the buyers are out there. But in terms of a country such as Estonia, I mean, we look at Estonia really for the talent that's there. That's the main reason companies go there, to get clever people that can do clever things.
And John, do these comments fit with your experience, which is obviously very deep with Estonia?
Yes, they do. I think, as James particularly pointed out, we were quickly into recession, but our entry into recession was almost a model of the 1980s in the UK, with young, inexperienced property developers operating in an overheated, overcharged market. That is a single sector within the economy, but was probably predominantly the cause of the sharp downturn. I think it's fair to say that the government of Estonia reacted fairly quickly in both limiting public sector expenditure, not always to the great amusement of some of the employees, but reacted quickly to that, coupled with a currency system which, although is not the euro, is very closely pegged to the euro because of the historical basis with the Deutschmark. And we are now seeing, as James said, the Kaubermeyer Group retail going into profit. Recent announcement that Bauhaus, one of the largest European retail operations, is just starting the build of its new multi-thousand square metre outlet in Tallinn. And at the moment, as Douglas said, there are bargains to be had. Estonia is certainly open for business, without a shadow of a doubt, and the environment of Estonia, the business environment, is adaptable, flexible, and non-restrictive from the government perspective.
And how does it compare directly with its near neighbours, such as other Baltic countries?
We must remember that although in England we call the Baltics, Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia, by a single name, they are different culturally, linguistically and economically. Lithuania was probably the slowest into the current recession and has generally weathered it reasonably. Latvia, I have to say, has got some structural problems which I think are well acknowledged in the international community, and Estonia, as always, the little trader pulling its socks up and going forward in the markets.
It is somewhat unfair that the economies, which are, as John rightly says, very, very radically different, are grouped in investor minds. Now, the risk has been, and we have a situation where if the currency is pegged, everything else must be flexible, as the mantra of the Bank of Estonia. And there has been some concern, for example, that the commitment to a fixed currency is not so strong in Latvia and Lithuania. And that has been a question mark. I think now that we see some significant changes in the economic cycle, there's more hope than fear. But there's no doubt that the structural imbalances in Latvia remain difficult, and the situation there is particularly difficult. With Lithuania, you've got a much larger economy and a much more diverse economy as well. Lithuania looks much more like a country than like Slovakia, a Central European economy rather than a Baltic economy, and that confuses people to a great degree.
Douglas, I know you're not afraid to play favorites, so
Yeah.
how do you benchmark Estonia's investment environment against other European countries?
Again, I do it on the sectors that are there, the talent of the people, basically, and I always sort of link Estonia against Finland. I always see them as sort of, big brother, smaller brother. And I always think that Estonia, it is unfair that Estonia is always linked with the other two Baltic countries. I mean, Latvia, perception-wise, risk management-wise, because they've gone to the IMF, they are in a difficult position, and Estonia, I understand, it's much better cash reserves and it's handled the economy a lot better, and that's a great thing. A government acts quickly and performs well is good for inward investors, so Estonia is definitely doing all the right things. But it's an interesting marketing problem, or challenge, I should say, for Estonia, really, because I see it as a Nordic country rather than a Baltic country.
That's also from the cultural point of view. We weren't really the Baltic countries until the Soviets started calling us the Baltic countries. We've always been Nordic. If you look at the Estonian language, we pretty much don't have to learn Finnish to understand Finnish, and the other way around. And also the societal links with the Scandinavian countries are much more stronger than what we have with Latvians and Lithuanians. So as such, I would like to call us a Scandinavian country rather than a Baltic country.
Okay, the correction stands.